Okay, this is the Amplified Exodus 17, and these are the notes first, if there are any. Okay, there's one here. It says, "Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock at Horeb." And the note is, Horeb may refer to the mountain range of which Sinai is an individual mountain. Next one is regarding, he named the place Massa and Meribah because of the quarreling of the sons of Israel. And let's see, it says in the note, it says a similar incident occurred when the Israelites were in the wilderness of Zin, Z-I-N, at Meribah Kadesh. Give some scripture references. This is verse 7 of Exodus 17. The rest of the note says, on that occasion, Moses disobeyed God's specific instruction and paid a terrible price for his action. Okay, the next note is, it says, then Amalek came and fought with Israel at Rephidim. And the note says, these were a group of nomads descended from Amalek, a grandson of Esau, Jacob's twin brother. Next note is regarding, so Moses said to Joshua, choose men for us to go out, fight against Amalek. Choose men for us and go out, fight against Amalek. All right, and the note says, Joshua, leader of the tribe of Ephraim, was one of the great warriors of the Old Testament and was an attendant to and successor of Moses. The next note is regarding, and Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the hilltop. And the note says, according to Josephus, Hur was the husband of Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron. Next note is regarding, so Joshua overwhelmed and defeated Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. The note says, these nomadic people were the descendants of Esau. I think it just mentioned them a little bit ago. Obviously it did. Anyway, I don't know why it's giving two notes here, but that's okay. Let's see. And the next note is regarding, then the Lord said to Moses, write this in the book as a memorial and recite it to Joshua. Okay, and the note says, put in the ears of, in other words, write this in the book as a memorial and put in the ears of Joshua, I suppose. It's Exodus 17, verse 14. Next one is regarding, and Moses built an altar and named it, the Lord is my banner. And the note says, Hebrew YHWH, Yahweh dash Nisi, Nissi, or Nisai, or Nisai. Okay. And that's the end of the notes. This is the Amplified Exodus 17. Then all the congregation of the children of Israel moved on from the wilderness of Sin by stages, according to the commandment of the Lord, and camped at Rephidim. But there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people quarreled with Moses and said, give us water so we may have something to drink. And Moses said to them, why do you quarrel with me? Why do you tempt the Lord and try his patience? But the people were thirsty for water, and the people murmured against Moses and said, why did you bring us up from Egypt to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst? So Moses cried out to the Lord for help, saying, what shall I do with this people? They are almost ready to stone me. Then the Lord said to Moses, pass before the people and take with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock at Horeb. There you shall strike the rock, and water will come out of it, so that the people may have something to drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. He named the place where this miracle occurred Massa, test, and Meribah, contention, because of the quarreling of the sons of Israel, and because they tested the patience of the Lord, saying, is the Lord among us or not? Then Amalek and his people came and fought with Israel at Rephidim. So Moses said to Joshua, "Choose men for us and go out, fight against Amalek and his people. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the staff of God in my hand." So Joshua did as Moses said and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the hilltop. Now when Moses held up his hand, Israel prevailed. And when he lowered his hand, due to fatigue, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, and he grew tired. So they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. Then Aaron and Hur held up his hands, one on one side and one on the other side. So it was that his hands were steady until the sun set. So Joshua overwhelmed and defeated Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write this in the book as a memorial and recite it to Joshua, that I will utterly wipe out the memory of Amalek and his people from under heaven." And Moses built an altar and named it, "The Lord is my banner," saying, "The Lord has sworn an oath. The Lord will have war against the people of Amalek from generation to generation."